Imagine two kids growing up together in Hawaii. They play the same games, go to the same school, and share the same dreams. But their financial futures couldn't be more different, because of what they were taught about money. This is the story of Robert Kiyosaki's life-changing lessons from two father figures, his own highly educated but financially struggling dad, the poor dad, and the father of his best friend, a wealthy businessman, the rich dad. Poor dad believed in going to school, getting a safe job, and working hard for a paycheck. Rich dad believed in building businesses, investing, and making money work for you instead of trading time for money. In today's audiobook-style summary, you'll learn the core principles of Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the most influential finance books ever written, and discover how you can apply these lessons to build wealth in today's economy, even if you're starting broke. This isn't just theory. These are practical steps you can take to transform your mindset, understand money in a new way, and escape the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. By the end of this summary, you'll know the number one difference between how the rich and poor think about money, why financial education is more valuable than a high salary, how to build assets that generate cash flow, and how to start small today to create a financially free future. Because wealth isn't just about having money, it's about having freedom. Lesson 1: The difference between assets and liabilities. One of the most powerful lessons Robert ever learned from his rich dad is this: the rich buy assets, the poor buy liabilities. This single concept completely changes how you see money. What is an asset? An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A rental property that earns you rent each month. Stocks or index funds that pay dividends. A small business that generates cash flow. Even digital assets like YouTube channels, blogs, or e-commerce stores. What is a liability? A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Your car loan. Credit card debt. A fancy house with a huge mortgage and property taxes. Lifestyle expenses that don't generate income, like expensive vacations or daily Starbucks runs. Example in today's world. Two friends, John and Mike, both make $5,000 a month. John buys a new BMW with a $700 monthly payment and rents a luxury apartment for $2,000. Mike drives a used car, rents a modest apartment for $1,200, and invests $800 every month into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. 5 years later, John is still living paycheck to paycheck. Mike, on the other hand, owns $50,000 worth of assets that generate passive income every month. The difference? Mike focused on building assets, while John spent his cash flow on liabilities disguised as status symbols. The takeaway: if you want to be wealthy, start tracking your spending. Every time you buy something, ask yourself, does this put money into my pocket, or take it out? Even small daily decisions matter. A $5 coffee invested instead of spent could grow to thousands over time. This simple shift is the foundation of financial freedom. Lesson 2: The importance of financial education. Robert's poor dad was highly educated. He had a stable government job, multiple degrees, and believed strongly in traditional education. Yet despite his impressive resume, he constantly struggled with money. Rich Dad, on the other hand, never finished 8th grade. But he built a financial empire and retired wealthy. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was financial literacy. Most schools teach you how to work for money, but they never teach you how to make money work for you. Why this matters in the U.S. Today, millions of young Americans graduate from college with $30,000 to $50,000 in student loan debt. They know calculus and literature, but they don't understand taxes, investing, or how credit works. As a result, they're thrown into the real world financially blind, forced to figure it out through costly mistakes. Real-world example. Consider Emily, a nurse earning $65,000 a year. She never learned about taxes, so she overpays every year without realizing it. She never learned about investing, so her 401k sits untouched and unoptimized. She never learned about credit, so she carries high-interest credit card debt at 22%. Emily isn't bad with money, she's just financially uneducated. If Emily understood money like the rich dad, she would use tax strategies to save thousands each year. Automatically invest a portion of her income into low-cost index funds. Eliminate bad debt and use credit wisely. Eventually, build a side business to diversify her income. The key message is this: you don't need a higher salary to become rich. You need better financial skills. Lesson 3: The mindset of the rich versus the poor. Rich Dad taught Robert that fear and desire control most people's financial decisions. Poor people say, "I can't afford it." Rich people ask, "How can I afford it?" This difference may seem small, but it's everything. Scarcity versus abundance. Poor Dad had a scarcity mindset. Play it safe, avoid risks, and hold tightly to job security. Rich Dad had an abundance mindset. Take calculated risks, create opportunities, and never depend on one employer or income stream. Modern example. In today's world, with AI and automation replacing jobs, job security no longer exists. Even stable careers can disappear overnight. The people who thrive are those who create multiple streams of income, whether that's through investing, online businesses, or freelance skills. Wealth starts with mindset. If you believe opportunities are limited, you'll never take action to create wealth. If you train yourself to see possibilities, you'll find ways to grow financially even in difficult times. Lesson 4: Building cash flow through businesses and investments. One of Rich Dad's most famous teachings is: the rich don't work for money, money works for them. Most people work for a paycheck. The wealthy focus on creating passive income streams that flow to them whether they're working or not. 2 types of income. Active income, money you earn by trading time for work, like a salary or hourly wage. Passive income, money that comes in even when you're not actively working, like rental income, stock dividends, or royalties. Active income stops the moment you stop working. Passive income gives you freedom and long-term security. How to start: a simple path. Step 1: launch a small side hustle, like selling on Etsy, dropshipping, or freelancing on Fiverr. Step 2: take the profits and invest them into assets like index funds, real estate investment trusts, or even creating digital products. Step 3: keep reinvesting your earnings to grow your passive income streams. Case study. Jake earns $60,000 a year at his job. He starts a simple Shopify store that earns $500 a month in profit. After a year, he has $6,000 saved, which he invests into a rental property fund. 5 years later, his passive income covers half of his living expenses. This is exactly how Rich Dad thinks. Use your money to build systems that keep generating money, even while you sleep. Lesson 5: take risks, learn, and take action. Many people never build wealth because they're afraid of failure. Poor Dad avoided risks, fearing job loss and embarrassment. Rich Dad embraced failure as part of the learning process. Winners are not afraid of losing. Losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. Robert Kiyosaki. Modern application. Want to start investing? Begin with just $50 in a fractional share to learn the process. Want to start a business? Offer a simple $10 service online to test demand. Want to learn about real estate? Partner with someone experienced on a small project before going big. Each small action builds confidence and knowledge. Waiting for the perfect moment means you'll never start. Wealth comes to those who take calculated action, not those who overthink forever. Final action steps. Here's how you can apply these lessons today. Track your money. For the next 30 days, write down every dollar you earn and spend. Awareness is the first step. Identify one liability to cut and one asset to start building. Cancel that unused subscription and redirect the money into an investment account. Invest in learning. Read books, listen to podcasts, or take free online courses about finance and investing. Create a side hustle. Even $100 a month can grow into significant wealth when invested wisely. Focus on your mindset. Replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it?" Building wealth isn't about luck. It's about consistent, smart decisions made over time. OUTRO. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad has inspired millions of people to rethink how they view money, work, and success. The key takeaway is simple. Stop trading time for money, and start building assets that generate freedom. If you found this summary helpful, subscribe to this channel and follow the podcast on Spotify for more book summaries and practical financial tips. And remember, your financial future isn't decided by your past. It's shaped by the actions you take today.